Welcome back! After dodging a storm and finding shelter in the marina in Dénia, we can finally set off west once again. We're sailing towards a cheap yard where we can re-rig skua before setting sail across the Atlantic Ocean. We are going to Cartagena! Every time we get a weather window this autumn, we're super grateful. It's not the best season to cruise the Med. This tall ship is the Frederic Chopin, a Polish brig-rigged sailing ship named after the famous Polish composer. Built and launched in the early 90s, she's the youngest Polish tall ship. She's 44 meters long and 36 meters high. There are 6 yards on every mast, and the bowsprit is so long that she can be rigged with up to 5 head sails to sail in light winds. She is currently used as a sailing training ship. In October 2010, while on a cruise from the Netherlands to the Caribbean, the Frederic Chopin lost both masts in gale force winds 100 miles off the Isles of Scilly in the UK, with 47 crew on board. The small fishing trawler, Nova Sparrow, answered the ship's distress call and towed the ship to Falmouth Bay. The 100-mile tow took 3 days.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.
Well, there's definitely wind today. We just got blasted by a 33 knot gust. Now it's settling down on 25 knots of wind. And we can make up to 5 knots under staysail alone, so it's pretty good. There's lots of headlands on this coast, so it's probably going to be a lot of wind acceleration zones where the wind really picks up, and a lot of dead patches as well. So it's going to be a day of changing sails, turning on the engine a lot and things like that. That's to be expected, but yeah, it just feels so good to be moving on. It's proper autumn. It's really cold. We got all our winter gear out.
If I never figure out where the road goes, even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
There's a sudden gust of wind, so we rush to reef the mainsail.
Trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down.
We just had 25 knots of wind and the boat was heeled over, and now we're pretty much becalmed in 6 knots of wind. We're having a very Mediterranean sailing day.
Wow, I totally forgot how stunning the Spanish coast is. Check this out.
coast is incredible. A bit sloppy sea though, which is a bit annoying. But there's some like massive spires coming straight up out of the sea to make these cliffs. It's nice. A nice sunny day.
What have you got for lunch?
Gnocchi with butter.
Nice.
Which is it's a bit of a underway favourite on Skua, because you just pour some water and then it's cooked in like 3 minutes, and then nice stodgy, really filling lunch. We're making decent progress down the Spanish coast. It's really nice, the Spanish coast. It's really stunning, like really steep mountains, which is why we were having such fluky winds most of the day. But now the wind's just dying, I think, which is a real pain. We were kind of thinking it was, you know, the main priority is to get out of the Med really before the winter weather really sets in and it turns super miserable. I'll have a quick look on Navily and see if there's any nice anchorages along this stretch of coastline, but I don't think there are. I think we're just going to have to put up with it until we get to at least Mar Menor or somewhere like that.
There is a big swell, but little or no wind, so making progress against the waves is hard for our heavy skua.
It seems that the Spanish fishing boats are a lot more courteous than the French ones we've encountered. A lot more courteous than most of the ones we've encountered actually. These guys, there's obviously like a fleet going back into I guess Benidorm or one of the nearby fishing villages, and as they're all just motoring back and they're on my port side, they all gave way, which is really good. Well done, Spain. I don't really go in for the whole might is right kind of thing. I think it's garbage. The rules are there for a reason. If you start zigzagging around in front of these guys while they're trying to avoid you, then you're kind of asking for problems really. I just went down below to speak to Eleanor, and at the time we had, I think, 3 knots of wind. I came back up and it was 25 knots of wind, and the boat's like heeling over, got full main up. So I've just dumped the main sheet and then reefed the main really quick. Just put first reef in, and now we're storming along. Thankfully we can now like smash through these waves, got the staysail out as well. And we can make some progress through these waves, which were kind of like stopping us dead before, but now with all this extra energy pushing on through, which is nice. And we're about level with Alicante. It's going to be dark in about an hour. And what else? We're going to pass Isla de Tabarca Nueva or something like that, Nueva Tabarca, which looks pretty stunning. Would have quite liked to go there, but with all this like crazy swell all over the place, there's just no way of anchoring anywhere along here, I don't think. We'll have to just like carry on to Cartagena tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully the wind and the swell will line up soon, because now that hopefully there's enough wind to get it in line, but we'll see. Never know with the Med. It's become pretty amazing now. The wind settled down to about 18 to 20 knots, and as I'd hoped, it's realigned the swell. So although we're sailing into the wind, it's so much nicer. Skua's got all the power in her sails to just like plough through these waves. She's not being stopped dead anymore. And yeah, we're just sailing onwards. The sun's setting, so I'll be setting the boat up for the night. I might put a second reef in, but we'll see how it goes. On these like shortish passages, like one night, we're doing like shorter shifts so that someone doesn't end up basically like missing out on a whole night's sleep. Because if you do 4 hours on, 4 hours off, then someone has to do 8 hours of night. So we're going to do like 2 or 3 hour shifts, and that way as well, like, we'll both be out more, be easier to keep an eye on conditions and stuff. And yeah, looking forward to it now. Now that like horrible sea's gone, it's pretty delicious, pretty nice sailing out here. Coat's just a big black blob.
I don't have a mouth anymore.
I'm just a head. It's not what you want from a sailing channel. You have to go put a bikini on.
Yeah, just let me grab a fit model for that.
Pretty chilly, huh?
Super.
Especially with the breeze. What would you say the temperature is?
Maybe 9 degrees.
9?
No. 16 in the morning, so...
What the hell?
I don't know.
No, it's got to be warmer than 9 degrees.
We're so spoiled, it's been so hot all the time. And now in the morning it's 16 degrees and inside the boat I get really cold.
And I had to buy some slippers.
Some really cool ones, they've got a slough on, so...
Yeah, quite cool. Sun's just gone down. Better go put the nav lights on.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hello, what are you making?
I'm making toasties.
Cheese toasties.
Yeah, it's still a little bit bouncy for boiling water, and I can't be bothered to wash up the saucepan after lunch. So I'll do that tomorrow when we get in. For now, making nice little toasties. Nice to have something hot when it's a bit chilly. And for me, the king of cheese.
I was lost in a city dream, and I was at home again beside the stream. Then you walked past me, and you saw me smile. I will never forget the first time when I saw you right there.
It's been a really spectacular night of sailing. We've had about 20 knots forward of the beam, about 60 degrees the whole night, which has been perfect on this boat. The wind has been coming off the land, which means that it's less wavy. And yeah, the last like 3 hours we've actually been under reduced sail to slow the boat down, because we didn't really want to arrive into Cartagena in the dark. And that means, so with just the staysail and the reefed main up, we've just been like just poodling along at like 3 knots, which is working out perfect. I don't know if you can tell behind me, but the sun's just about coming up and we're coming into Cartagena now. So the timing's worked out perfect, and it's been a really great night of sailing. Ready to get in there and go to bed, or maybe go for breakfast.
Blown away and left behind. I hope you'll always be around, even if I fail. You are like a summer breeze that I must inhale. Is it possible for us to feel this way forever? Loving you has never felt more right. Woke up lonely, and for you there is nothing in this world I wouldn't
So because there's a crazy swell and the marina here is only 20 euros a night for us, we'll just go in and then we'll be able to explore town for a couple of days, which is really nice. Yeah, kind of loving the winter rates at the moment. We're here, easiest berth ever. The marinero who received us, so we were a double ender, and decided to give us the easiest berth to get into, which is really nice. No one really understands how hard it is to handle these types of boats in tight quarters, so really nice. And then I think now we're gonna go check in and then go for a walk around town.
Bloody hell, there's footsteps there.
They were too far in, and you see? It needs to be in.
Is it nice to be in a marina?
Pretty good. It's, I don't know, about 20 degrees warmer on land.
Yeah. We were like, last night or this morning, I was wearing like a down jacket. Yeah. Like a t-shirt, obviously, a down jacket and a massive like windproof soft shell thing. Yeah. Shivering. And then as we were coming in, I was just like taking off layers and taking off layers. And now I'm bloody roasting.
Yeah, now we're in strappy tops and...
I'm not wearing a strappy top.
Yeah, you can't see it, but Ryan is wearing a strappy top too.
Got my boobs out.
Having a tortilla?
Yeah, just got off the boat to have lunch. It's really nice.
This is called a pincho because it's a small...
It's a massive slab of it though.
I know, but he called it pincho of tortilla, so...
Pretty tasty.
Small portion. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy our videos, please consider supporting our production on Patreon or buying us a beer through PayPal. Join us next time as we install a new mainsail and sail on west.